Hey guys, it's John. Today we're going to work on fixing a spring coil that's broken on a garage door. As you can see here, this garage door has its coil broken, therefore the garage door doesn't work, obviously. So first thing we need to do is we need to get the right coil. This kind of thing you can't really go to Home Depot and buy. You really need to order from your garage door supply company or your local garage door repair service. You got to know the diameter of the coil, the coil length itself. And here there's two coils. The right side's been broken, and you've got to know the diameter of the springs on the coils. Alright, so first thing we need to know, first thing we need to do is unplug the garage door opener. Alright, so as you can see, the garage door opener is unplugged. Alright, for reasons you just don't want the door opening on you. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to mark off the bar where the end spring wire is threaded through. So I put a Sharpie mark right there. It's just so when we pull the bar off, we know where to put the bar back onto, just to make things even. Next thing we need to do is we need to unwind the coil. So when you're buying the springs, buy them with the cones on them. They're just a couple of bucks more. You're still going to save a lot of money by doing it yourself. Also, buy a pair of the winding bars. Torsion spring bars is what they're really called. I just call them winding bars. You might hear everybody else call them winding bars, but that's what they are. Oh, it's what they are. They go up in the cone itself. So when you're winding the cone to loosen the tension on the spring, you just put them in and make sure that the ends go in completely in. Okay, don't leave them out coming out. Okay, you got to make sure they go completely in like that. Okay, and when you're unwinding, make sure you count the number of quarter turns. Usually on 7-foot doors, they're about 30 turns, 31. But just to make sure, count the number of quarter turns, and when you're tightening them back up, make sure that you put the number of turns like they were at the beginning. Another thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you don't get in the way of these winding bars when you're unwinding. Okay, so don't put your face right there. You might get hurt or killed. You know, so be very careful what you're doing. Just stand to the side and unwind as we'll go through. Alright, the right way to know which side the spring goes on up here is to look at the way it's threaded, right? So if it's coming out here facing toward you, then it's a left threaded spring. And if it's coming out this way and it's threaded this way, it's a right threaded spring coil. So an easier way to do this is that when you buy it, if it's painted black, then it's the left threaded spring and it goes on the right side if you're looking at it this way. If you're looking at it through the garage when it's open, it will be the left side. So black colored goes on this side, and the red colored, if it's painted red, for right, goes on this side, right if you're looking through the open garage door, left side there. So that's the easy way to do it, but the safest way to do it is you want to make sure that when you're looking at the ends here, when they're together, this one's pointed at you, coiled that way. This one's looking at you, coiled that way. Okay, if it's coiled under, it's wrong. If it's coiled over, if the coil comes over, then it's the right way. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the tension on the spring. You got to be real careful about doing that because it can be a little bit dangerous. So what you want to do is you want to put the pry bar, the wind bars through the holes. Make sure that they go all the way through. And on a 7-foot door, you want to count usually about 30 quarter turns, but as you loosen up the two nuts here, then the coil bolts, then you want to make sure you hold tightly on these wind bars because they will bring a lot of tension, so be careful about that. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to unwind the coil spring and make sure that you keep hold firmly on the winding bars as you loosen up the bolt here, the two bolts, because there will be tension coming from the springs since this is the unbroken spring. Make sure that the bars go in all the way and that you're out of the path while you loosen this. And make sure you count the number of quarter turns. Normally it's about 30 for a 7-foot door, but you never know. This one looks like it was uncoiled, or we need to tighten it more. Let's see here. Always be safe. Let's see here. And if you have to, like I did, you can rest the bar against the garage door. So that was 1, 2, 3. 14, 15, and it looks like it's nowhere loose. Sure. It should just slide off, we'll see. So it looks like that this coil spring was not very tight, I guess due to the broken spring and me opening and closing the garage door. We're gonna, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna undo these bolts here. That's about, on this door, it's a 9/16 nut. So we're gonna loosen that up. And there's 2 of them there. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Since this one's broken, there's not going to be any tension there, so I'll go ahead and unwind that or unscrew that. 2 bolts there. This is I'm using a 3/8 inch wrench head here. And that should just slide over. There we go. Okay, so one trick to use, this bar keeps on falling out, is I'm trying to keep it from falling, so I just put a wrench in here and tighten it up real good so it'll keep from falling out when I pull on that other side. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to loosen up these bolts up here, and then take the cable off, or you can take the cable off, loosen, unloosen, whichever you want to do. Alright, so cable winds here. Can you get? Okay, we're going to unwind the cable, or take the cable off this, so it comes in from this little notch here. Go ahead and take it off and let it drop, and keep in mind that the cable is on the inside of the bracket here. So we'll just let that off. We're going to take off the coil. Just hang that off. We're going to take off the coil and this here. Okay, so I'm going to move the coil back over here. I should have done that as I was over there. So while you're up here, as you can see, I just undid that, which I shouldn't have done, but I'm going to move over there. Move this over here so we can easily get it off. While we're on this side and this part is falling off, the cable fell off too, we're going to go ahead and take it off. So we're going to undo this, these bolts here. There, and we're going to take off the coil spring, and I need my ladder to do that. See if that'll slide right through, which it does just fine. After taking that coil off, I had to hammer the back end off. Comparing the old coil to the new coil. Make sure that we're going to put on the right coil again, top to top. Good. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put it back on that side. Coil off. We're going to put the new coil back on. Like we said, the red is for this side here on the left, on the right looking in. We're going to put that back on, and we're going to put the there we go. Slide it back down. Back on the end bracket there. There we go, and we marked our mark here. So we're going to leave that right there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other side. so it might be easier to take off. Now I do see a bunch of caked on stuff. You can tell. Broken spring. And grab the other new spring. And with the cone goes on the outside. And we know it's this one because it's painted black, and as well as the thread is correct from what we already looked at. Okay, let's get back on there. Nice and easy. Put back on the end here. Slip it back on. Look at the mark that we put on earlier. Make sure the bar is evenly placed. And get back in the middle and tighten it up. Okay. And take off this wrench there. Bring our springs back together. Screws came in this way. Bolts, I mean, not screws, I know the difference. Make sure that it's up through the notches, or else it won't do you any good. We're going to tighten them up real good and tight. I need to tighten that other side there, but tighten these first. These nuts back on. These need to be really tight. Alright, good. Line bars here. We're going to do the opposite of how we brought them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third. Okay, we're going to do 30 turns right there. We're going to lock up the tightening bolts. Alright, once we wound our spring to 30 turns, 30 quarter turns, we're going to go ahead and tighten up the ends there and wind the wire through. And the ends are called drums, by the way, I just call them ends. Okay. Okay, so you want to set the cable in the groove right there and then wind it down correctly. So it follows the groove. Then you want to tighten it up real good. So the check to see if we tighten it right is when we let go of this, when we let go of the pressure of the winding bar, then it should tighten up the cables. Okay, make sure the cable's tight. And we're going to go ahead with the bar still on, go to the other side and tighten that side up. Alright. Seems tight. Seems tight over there. Cable tight. Pretty tight. Okay. This cable's kind of tight. Kind of tight. Okay, so when we loosen this up, it should hold up half the weight of the door on half this pressure. So we wind that back up. So now we're going to release the pressure here. So the test is, once we release this pressure, this stops unwinding and the pressure goes onto the cables, onto the wire. Look at that, huh? Good deal. So the wires now hold the pressure. Let's make sure that it's pretty tight there. Good. Okay, that's pretty tight. Okay, now we wind this side here up. We're almost supposed to be done. Alright. Turns, right? Mm-hmm. Does that count as a turn? I don't think it counts as a turn if it doesn't stay. Okay. See, so we start there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and you should be away from this in case stuff goes flying for. Okay, 30 turns. We're going to tighten this up. We should be good to go. test the pressure. If we unhook the latch, should open up the door. Yeah. All right, it's pretty good to go. So I'm gonna latch back up, power it back up. Let's see how it does it. All right. So the last thing is, the last thing is to plug this back into the socket. All right. Make sure it's latched up. Okay. Next door. All right. But let's see it. Closed. And the gate rises. Beautiful. All right, and let's see if it closes. Looky there, huh? And there you have it. That's how you replace a coil spring on your garage door. Please leave a comment below. And thanks for watching. Hope you like it.